If you follow world news today, there's one country whose name appears again and again across international headlines. That country is Iran. From major television networks to online news platforms, from political discussions to debates across social media, Iran frequently stands at the center of global attention. In recent years, many reports have focused on rising military tensions in the Middle East. Military exercises, firm political statements, and warnings of possible conflict have made the region one of the most sensitive and closely watched areas in the world. Analysts often mention Iran when discussing the balance of power in the Middle East, the formation of strategic alliances, and the potential shifts that could reshape global stability. One of the most frequently discussed topics surrounding Iran is its nuclear program. For many years, international negotiations, economic sanctions, and diplomatic efforts have revolved around a single question: how far will Iran go in developing its nuclear capabilities? Some nations worry that continued development could trigger a broader arms race across the region. Others emphasize the importance of diplomacy and dialogue in preventing a major crisis. These concerns have made Iran one of the most discussed countries whenever the possibility of conflict in the Middle East arises. Whenever tensions rise, global energy markets react almost immediately. Oil prices can fluctuate, financial markets grow cautious, and governments around the world begin monitoring the situation more closely. It is not only political leaders and analysts who pay attention to these developments. Ordinary people in many countries hear about these tensions as well. They listen to news about military alliances, potential confrontations, and decisions that could influence the future of entire regions. For many observers, Iran appears to be one of the key players in the complex geopolitical landscape of our modern world. Yet there is a fascinating question that very few people stop to consider. What if the story of Iran did not begin in the modern age? What if the history of this nation reaches back far beyond contemporary politics, long before television broadcasts, international summits, or modern diplomatic agreements? Surprisingly, the land we now call Iran appears in one of the oldest and most influential books in human history. This reference does not come from modern historians or political scientists. Instead, it appears in a much older source, the Bible. In fact, the region associated with modern-day Iran was mentioned in the Bible more than 2,000 years ago. However, it was not called Iran at that time. In the ancient world, this land was known by another name, a name that once carried enormous influence across the ancient Near East. That name was Persia, and when we begin to explore the story of Persia within the pages of the Bible, we discover that it is far more than a small historical detail. Persia plays a surprising and sometimes dramatic role throughout biblical history. Its story stretches across centuries, connecting ancient empires, prophetic visions, and events that shaped the world of the Bible. Understanding Persia's place in Scripture reveals a narrative that begins in the ancient past but continues to spark curiosity even today. When readers open the Bible, they will not find the modern name Iran written in its pages. Instead, the region appears under its ancient name, Persia. In the ancient world, Persia was not merely a distant territory east of the Middle East. Historical records and biblical accounts both show that Persia eventually rose to become one of the greatest powers of the ancient world. At its height, The Persian Empire governed vast territories, connecting many cultures, languages, and nations across an enormous geographic region. What makes Persia especially interesting in the Bible is that it does not appear just once. Instead, Persia is mentioned multiple times throughout different books of scripture. These references stretch across several historical periods, from narratives describing political events to prophetic visions that portray the rise and fall of powerful empires. When we look closely at how the Bible describes the nations surrounding Israel, an interesting pattern emerges. Many peoples appear briefly in the biblical story. They often show up as opposing forces, nations that come into conflict with Israel, only to disappear from the narrative after a short time. But Persia is different. In some moments of biblical history, Persia appears as a powerful foreign empire interacting with the people of Israel. In other moments, Persia becomes something far more unexpected, a tool used by God to accomplish a larger purpose. At certain points, Persian rulers play a role in events that bring relief or restoration to the people of Israel. In other passages, Persia is portrayed as a mighty empire that influences many nations across the ancient world. Even more fascinating, Persia appears in some of the Bible's most well-known prophetic visions. These prophecies describe the succession of world empires, showing how powerful kingdoms would rise, dominate large parts of the earth, and eventually fall. Within that prophetic framework, Persia stands as one of the key empires shaping the course of history. For this reason, when we speak about Persia in the Bible, we are not referring to a minor nation mentioned in passing. Instead, we are looking at a civilization that appears repeatedly throughout the biblical narrative, sometimes as an adversary, sometimes as an instrument, sometimes as a global empire, and sometimes as a prophetic symbol. To fully understand how Persia came to occupy such an important place in biblical history, we must travel back much further in time to the earliest chapters of the world after a catastrophic event that reshaped human civilization. According to the biblical narrative, after the Great Flood, the world began again almost from the beginning. Humanity at that moment descended from a single surviving family, the family of Noah. Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, became the ancestors of the nations that eventually spread across the earth. As generations passed, their descendants migrated into different regions, establishing new communities, languages, and cultures. Over time, entire nations emerged from these early family lines. Among the descendants of Japheth, one name stands out in connection with the region that would later become associated with ancient Persia. That name is Madai. Madai is traditionally understood to be the ancestor of the Medes, a people who settled in the mountainous regions of what is now northern Iran. The Medes developed their societies in the highlands and valleys of this rugged landscape. Over generations, they formed their own traditions, political structures, and cultural identity. However, Madai is not the only figure connected to the early history of this region. Another ancient name that appears in early records is Elam. The people of Elam are associated with a region located further south, near the fertile plains of southwestern Iran. The descendants of Elam, often called the Elamites, established settlements and kingdoms in this area long before the rise of the Persian Empire. For centuries, these different groups developed side by side in the lands that now form part of modern Iran. The Medes occupied the mountainous northern territories, while the Elamites flourished in the southern plains. Each group possessed its own traditions, its own political leaders, and its own historical development. Yet they existed within the same broad geographic region, connected by trade routes, cultural exchanges, and sometimes by conflict. As the centuries passed, interactions between these peoples increased, alliances formed, rivalries emerged, and new political structures began to take shape across the region. Gradually, the various tribes and communities of these lands began to merge into larger and more organized powers. From these evolving societies, a new and formidable civilization eventually arose. That civilization would come to be known as ancient Persia. In time, Persia would grow from a regional power into one of the most influential empires the world had ever seen. Its kings would rule over vast territories stretching across continents. Its decisions would affect the fate of many nations. And within the pages of the Bible, Persia would soon step onto the stage of history in ways that few people might expect. The story of Persia in Scripture, however, is only beginning. As the biblical narrative moves forward from the early origins of nations, the lands associated with ancient Persia begin to appear more clearly within the unfolding story. However, Persia does not first enter the biblical account as a peaceful or neutral nation. Instead, its earliest appearance comes during a time of conflict. One of the earliest references to peoples from the eastern regions appears in the book of Genesis, where a coalition of powerful eastern kings formed a military alliance. These rulers gathered their armies and launched a campaign westward, targeting the fertile lands where Abraham and his family were living. This alliance of eastern rulers marched into the region with force. Cities were attacked, settlements were plundered, wealth and possessions were seized as spoils of war. Those who lived in the conquered areas were not spared from suffering. Among the captives taken during this invasion was a man named Lot, the nephew of Abraham. Lot had been living in the city of Sodom, and when the invading army swept through the region, they carried him away along with many other inhabitants. For Abraham, this was not simply a distant political conflict, it had suddenly become deeply personal. When Abraham learned that his nephew had been captured, he gathered a group of trained men from his household and set out in pursuit of the invading armies. In what might seem like an unexpected turn of events, Abraham's small force launched a surprise attack against the coalition of kings during the night. Against all odds, Abraham's group succeeded. The invading armies were defeated, the captives were freed, and Lot was rescued and brought safely home. This dramatic event is often recognized by biblical scholars as one of the earliest recorded examples of an international conflict in the Bible. Multiple kings from different regions had formed an alliance, marched across territories, and fought for control of land and resources. Within that conflict, the people associated with the eastern regions, areas connected historically with Elam and the lands that would later become part of Persia, played a significant role. For this reason, many readers see this moment as one of the earliest points where the ancestors of the Persian world intersect with the story of God's people. It is a striking introduction. The first encounter between these eastern powers and the family of Abraham occurs in the context of war, captivity, and rescue. And in this moment, the future lands of Persia stand on the opposite side of the conflict from the people who would eventually become Israel. Yet the story does not end there. History would take an unexpected turn. After these early encounters in the biblical narrative, the peoples of the eastern regions did not disappear from history. Instead, over the centuries that followed, they continued to grow, organize, and develop their societies. The tribes and communities scattered across the Iranian plateau gradually became more structured and more powerful. They learned from both conflict and cooperation with neighboring civilizations. Trade routes expanded across the region, bringing wealth and cultural exchange. At the same time, these Eastern societies began strengthening their political systems. Leaders emerged who organized armies and established systems of governance. Laws were developed to regulate communities and maintain order within growing populations. The rugged geography of the region also shaped the character of these developing peoples. Mountain ranges, vast plateaus, and strategic trade corridors created both natural defenses and opportunities for expansion. Over time, alliances formed between different tribes and groups across the region. The Medes, descendants of Madai, became a significant power in the northern highlands. Other groups gradually united under emerging leadership structures. Through these gradual developments, what had once been scattered tribal societies began transforming into organized political entities. By the first millennium before Christ, the foundations for a new regional power had been firmly established. The people who would later be known as the Persians began rising in influence. What began as smaller tribal groups eventually evolved into a unified force capable of challenging other regional powers. Their military organization improved. Their administrative systems expanded. Their rulers began consolidating control over wider territories. Little by little, the eastern lands that once appeared only briefly in the early biblical narrative were becoming a formidable presence in the ancient world. The transformation was remarkable. A region that had once been known mainly for scattered tribes and distant kingdoms was slowly evolving into a rising power that would soon reshape the political landscape of the ancient Near East. And then, at a crucial moment in biblical history, Persia would step onto the stage in a way no one could have predicted. Among the many remarkable passages in the Bible, one prophecy stands out as particularly astonishing. Long before the Persian Empire reached the height of its power, the Bible recorded a prophecy about a future king, a ruler who would one day change the fate of the Jewish people. What makes this prophecy extraordinary is not only what it predicts, but how specific it is. According to the biblical text, this future ruler would come from outside the nation of Israel. He would not be part of the Jewish people. He would not belong to their culture or religious traditions. Yet, despite being a foreign ruler, he would play a critical role in restoring Israel during one of the darkest moments in its history. The prophecy declared that this king would allow the Jewish people to return to their homeland after a long period of exile. He would give them permission to go back to the land of their ancestors. Even more remarkably, he would support the rebuilding of Jerusalem, the sacred city that had been destroyed. For generations, such a promise may have seemed almost impossible. The people of Judah would eventually face conquest by the powerful Babylonian Empire. Jerusalem would be burned. The temple would be destroyed. Many of the inhabitants would be taken away into exile. In such circumstance, the idea that a future ruler from a foreign empire would one day allow them to return home must have sounded unimaginable. Yet the prophecy did not simply describe an unnamed king. It went further. The Bible actually recorded the name of the ruler who would accomplish this task long before he was ever born. That name was Cyrus. Cyrus the Great would eventually rise as the leader of Persia and become one of the most influential rulers of the ancient world. After conquering the Babylonian Empire, he issued a decree that allowed the Jewish people to return to Jerusalem and rebuild their temple. For many readers of the Bible, this moment stands as one of the most astonishing examples of prophecy in Scripture. A foreign emperor, ruling over a vast empire, becomes the instrument through which God brings restoration to His people. It is a powerful and unexpected twist in the story. The very civilization that once appeared in the biblical narrative as part of an invading Eastern coalition would eventually produce a king who played a crucial role in restoring the people of Israel. In that event, Persia's place in biblical history would become far more significant than anyone in Abraham's time could have imagined. By the time the Persian Empire began rising in power, the ancient world was already dominated by another mighty kingdom, the Empire of Babylon. Babylon had become one of the most powerful and feared empires of its time. Its armies had conquered vast territories across the Middle East, and its capital city stood as one of the most magnificent urban centers in the ancient world. Massive walls surrounded the city, strong enough that many believed Babylon could never be defeated. For the people of Judah, Babylon represented one of the darkest chapters in their history. In the year 586 BC, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar launched a devastating campaign against Jerusalem. The city was captured after a long siege. The temple, one of the most sacred places for the Jewish people, was burned and destroyed. The walls of the city were torn down, and many of the inhabitants were taken away into exile. Thousands of Jewish captives were forced to leave their homeland and were transported hundreds of miles away to Babylon. There, they lived under foreign rule, far from the land that had been promised to their ancestors. To many observers at the time, Babylon appeared unstoppable. Its military strength was unmatched, its wealth immense, and its capital city seemed nearly impossible to conquer. The empire ruled over vast lands, and its influence stretched across the ancient Near East. But while Babylon seemed invincible, history was quietly moving in another direction. Far to the east, the Persian Empire was rising. Under the leadership of a remarkable ruler named Cyrus, the Persians began expanding their influence across neighboring regions. Their armies moved swiftly, and their reputation for strategic brilliance spread rapidly. Eventually, the Persians turned their attention toward Babylon itself. According to historical accounts and ancient records, the fall of Babylon came in a way that few could have predicted. Instead of a long, devastating siege, the Persian forces carried out a carefully planned strategy. One of the most famous details of this event involves the great walls and gates of the city. Babylon was protected by enormous fortifications, yet on the night of the Persian advance, something unexpected happened. The city gates were left open, whether through miscalculation, internal confusion, or strategic infiltration. The Persian forces were able to enter the city with surprising speed. The defenses that had once seemed impenetrable were suddenly ineffective. In a moment that has fascinated historians for centuries, the mighty empire of Babylon fell in a single night. A kingdom that had once appeared unstoppable was suddenly replaced by a new power rising from the east. The Persians had taken control. For the Jewish people living in exile, this sudden shift in power would soon lead to one of the most remarkable moments in their history. When one empire conquers another, history often follows a familiar pattern. The victorious rulers impose their authority, tighten control over conquered populations, and ensure that potential rebellions are prevented. The Jewish exiles living in Babylon might have expected the same outcome when Persia took control of the empire. They had already experienced the destruction of their homeland and the loss of their temple. Many likely assumed that life in exile would simply continue under new rulers. But something extraordinary happened. The Persian king, Cyrus the Great, made a decision that surprised the ancient world. Instead of continuing the policies of forced exile, Cyrus issued a decree allowing the Jewish people to return to their homeland. Those who wished to leave Babylon were free to travel back to Jerusalem and rebuild their lives in the land of their ancestors. This alone would have been remarkable. But Cyrus went even further. He authorized the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem, the very temple that had been destroyed by the Babylonians decades earlier. More than that, he provided support and resources to help make the reconstruction possible. This act was unprecedented in ancient imperial history. Rather than suppressing the religious identity of a conquered people, the Persian ruler actively supported their efforts to restore their sacred place of worship. The Jewish community was allowed to rebuild not only their city, but also their spiritual center. For the people who had lived in exile for generations, this decree must have felt almost miraculous. They were no longer prisoners in a foreign empire. They were free to return home. Caravans of returning exiles began making the long journey back to the land of Judah. Jerusalem, which had once been reduced to ruins, slowly began to rise again. Walls were rebuilt, homes were restored, and eventually the temple, the heart of Jewish worship, was reconstructed. From a historical perspective, this moment stands out as one of the most remarkable examples of political policy in the ancient world. For the first time, a foreign empire played a direct role in helping rebuild the temple dedicated to the God of Israel. The Persian Empire had become an unexpected partner in the restoration of a nation that Babylon had once destroyed. And for many readers of the Bible, this moment represented the fulfillment of the prophecy that had spoken of a Persian ruler who would allow the people of God to return home. While these historical events were unfolding, another part of the biblical narrative was offering a deeper perspective on the rise and fall of world empires. In the book of Daniel, the prophet Daniel recorded a series of visions that described the succession of powerful kingdoms throughout history. These visions portrayed great empires rising to dominance, ruling vast territories, and eventually giving way to new powers. Within these prophetic visions, the Persian Empire occupies a significant place. Daniel describes a powerful kingdom symbolized by a ram with two horns, representing the combined strength of the Medes and the Persians. This empire would grow strong and expand its influence in multiple directions, becoming one of the dominant forces of the ancient world. Historically, this description aligns closely with the Medo-Persian Empire that emerged after the fall of Babylon. Under Persian leadership, the empire expanded across enormous distances. Its territory stretched from the Indus Valley in the east to parts of North Africa and Tamaj in the west. It controlled trade routes, governed many different cultures, and became one of the largest empires the world had yet seen. For a time, Persia truly stood as a global superpower of the ancient world. Yet the vision recorded by Daniel also carried an important message. No empire, no matter how powerful, would last forever. Even the great Persian Empire, strong, wealthy, and vast, would eventually reach the end of its dominance. Another kingdom would rise after it, continuing the long pattern of historical change that Daniel's visions describe. In this way, Persia's role in the biblical story becomes both historical and prophetic. It was a real empire that shaped the course of ancient history, conquered Babylon, and allowed the Jewish people to return home. But it was also part of a larger prophetic picture, a reminder that even the greatest empires of the world exist only for a season. And the story of Persia in the Bible continues to reveal how history, prophecy, and faith intersect in ways that still capture the imagination of readers today. After the fall of Babylon and the decree that allowed the Jewish people to return to their homeland, the Persian Empire continued to expand in both influence and territory. What began as a rising regional power soon developed into something far greater. Under the leadership of powerful rulers such as Cyrus the Great and his successors, Persia entered what many historians consider the golden age of its empire. During this period, the Persian Empire grew into the largest empire the ancient world had ever seen. Its territory stretched across an enormous portion of the known world. To the east, Persian authority extended all the way to the borders of India. To the west, it reached into parts of North Africa, including Egypt. Between these distant frontiers lay vast regions of the Middle East, including Mesopotamia, Anatolia, and the land surrounding the eastern Mediterranean. This immense empire connected diverse civilizations under a single political structure. Dozens of cultures, languages, and traditions existed within its borders. Trade routes stretched across continents, allowing goods, ideas, and technologies to travel between distant regions of the ancient world. The Persian rulers developed an impressive system of administration to govern this massive territory. Instead of forcing every region to adopt a single culture, they allowed many local traditions and customs to continue under imperial oversight. Governors, known as satraps, were appointed to manage different provinces, while remaining loyal to the central authority of the empire. The Persians also built an advanced network of roads that helped connect their vast territories. One of the most famous of these was the Royal Road, which allowed messengers and officials to travel quickly across the empire. This communication system helped maintain stability across lands separated by thousands of miles. Because of this administrative skill and military strength, Persia maintained control over its enormous empire for generations. Cities prospered, trade flourished, and the influence of Persian rule shaped much of the ancient world. For the Jewish people who had returned to Jerusalem, this period of Persian rule provided a measure of stability. Under Persian authority, the temple was rebuilt and the religious life of the community began to flourish again. Yet even at the height of its power, the Persian Empire was still part of a much larger story, one that had already been hinted at in the prophetic visions recorded in the Bible. Empires rise, empires rule. But history shows that no earthly kingdom remains forever, and eventually the mighty Persian Empire would face the same fate that had once come upon Babylon. History often follows a repeating pattern. Powerful nations rise, expand their influence, and dominate the political landscape of their time. For a season, their authority appears unshakable, but eventually, new forces emerge. The Persian Empire was no exception. For generations, Persia remained one of the most powerful civilizations on earth. Its armies controlled vast lands, its rulers governed diverse peoples, and its influence shaped the course of ancient history. Yet, as time passed, another rising power appeared on the horizon. From the west came a new force led by a young and ambitious military leader, Alexander the Great of Macedonia. His armies moved rapidly across the known world, defeating powerful kingdoms one after another. When Alexander's forces confronted the Persian Empire, the balance of power began to shift. After a series of decisive battles, the once mighty Persian Empire was eventually conquered. The empire that had stretched from India to North Africa, that had ruled over countless cities and peoples, gradually collapsed under the pressure of a new and unstoppable military campaign. Like Babylon before it, Persia fell. The throne of global power passed to another empire. Yet Persia's story contains a unique and fascinating distinction. While the empire itself eventually disappeared from the center of political dominance, it never disappeared from the pages of Scripture. In the Bible, Persia remains part of the larger narrative of history and prophecy. It appears in historical accounts, in the stories of kings and exiles, and in the prophetic visions that describe the succession of world empires. Even long after the Persian Empire ceased to rule the ancient world, its role in the biblical story continued to be remembered. The empire that once rose from the eastern lands, conquered Babylon, and allowed the Jewish people to return home had left an enduring mark not only on history, but also on the biblical narrative itself. And for many readers today, Persia's story raises deeper questions. Why did this particular empire play such a unique role in the restoration of Israel? Why did the Bible record the name of a Persian king long before he was born? And why does the history of this ancient civilization continue to capture the attention of those who study the connections between world history and biblical prophecy? These questions remind us that the rise and fall of nations is not simply a matter of political power or military strength. Within the pages of Scripture, history often reveals something greater, a larger story unfolding across generations. Before we continue exploring more biblical history and prophecy like this, take a moment to support the channel. If you enjoy discovering how ancient history, scripture, and world events connect together, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Each episode explores fascinating stories from the Bible that many people have never heard explained in this way. And if this video helped you see the history of Persia in a new light, feel free to like the video and share it with someone who enjoys learning about biblical history and prophecy. There are many more incredible stories hidden in the pages of Scripture, and we will continue uncovering them together in the next videos.